Thank you. Come on in, and if I can ask everyone to come in who's out in the lobby to come in and take a seat. Thank you. Good evening, Urban Leaguers. Good evening. Let's get some energy in here. These past couple of years, serving as board chairman has been tremendous. I have had the privilege to work with a hard-working and very focused team led by our incredible CEO, Jennifer Thompkins. And I would argue, there you go, y'all can, come on. It must be the food, I don't know, and I would argue one of the best boards of the 92 affiliates across the entire country. During my time as board chair, I also had the opportunity to travel to a couple of national conferences in Houston and in New Orleans. And I was able to spend time, valuable time, with board chairs from around the country, as well as the administration and our National Urban League President, Mark Morial, up close and in person. And with each meeting and conversation, I came away from those conferences with two things. One, the first thing I came away with, everybody knows Jennifer. Everybody knows Jennifer, everybody seeks Jennifer out for her knowledge, for her wisdom, and I was totally impressed as she had me on a leash like a dog, walking me around and introduced me to everybody. And I said, wow, I was very impressed. That was number one. Number two, more importantly, I came away from those conferences confirmed that the National Urban League's mission and vision is absolutely on point to address the issues such as high unemployment, economic inequality, discrimination, and civil rights issues that face our people every single day. Tonight, I'm proud to stand before you to say we are a very strong and diverse organization and board. Can I have all board members that are here tonight please stand and take a bow for all the hard work that you've done, all current board members. Thank you. Your focus and dedication has been tremendous, and I personally want to thank each and every single one of you. I also want to acknowledge the young professionals and guild members as they continue to grow and are vital to the success of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. All YPs and guild members and leaders of the YPs and the guild, please stand and take a bow. Thank you. But tonight, my main focus, I know I'm supposed to do the welcome, I'm gonna get there. This is my last act, y'all gotta bear with me. But tonight, my main focus is not to talk about the many accomplishments of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League over the past couple of years. I'll leave that to our CEO, Jennifer Thompkins, who deserves all the credit for the success of the organization. My focus tonight is to say two words: thank you. Thank you to all the very many people and volunteers who work tirelessly, hard, dedicated to move the mission of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League forward. Thank you to Kari and Kenyon for their leadership with the Guild and the YPs. These organizations are stronger than they've ever been as a result of your hard work, your dedication, and commitment to moving it forward. Thank you very much. A huge thank you to all of the staff members that are here tonight. Will all the staff, Jennifer staff that are here, please stand. Thank you. An outstanding and hardworking, dedicated staff. From the moment you walk in the office, you are greeted with a huge smile and a welcome from the little general, Madeline. Yes, the mighty general who hears all, knows all, and sees all. Take a bow. So whenever I come there, she grabs me and says, "Let me tell you this." Madeline, thank you for all that you do and you will continue to do to bring that smile, that joy, and that passion and that love to the organization. So I got to call out another person on staff. I'm not going to call out everybody, but I got to call this person in. And that's Kobe Oates. Come on in, Kobe. Kobe, you stand at the door. Come on in, Kobe. Kobe, your growth over the past couple of years has been tremendous. Your passion is inspiring. You're not afraid to take on any fight, to step into the arena and push the boundaries. I watched you do that, and I watched you do that consistently. You're not afraid. Watching you get sworn in as city councilman last week is the proof of your growth. Keep the bullhorn and keep getting into that good trouble for both the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League and the city of Wilmington. Thank you, Kobe, for all that you do. I got bad eyes, guys, so you see this is getting closer to me. Thank you to the board of directors. I am so proud of this board and how you have all stepped up to meet all the opportunities we faced over the past couple of years. I would be remiss not to call out a few people that worked real close with me in the trenches over these past couple of years. Now, I don't want any board member to get slighted. He didn't mention my name. But there are a few that I have to call out. First, our newest members, Dr. Teal and John Singer. Thank you both for answering my call to step into some huge roles. You never wavered. You didn't ask questions. Well, a few. You just jumped in and you went to work. And I appreciated that. Thank you. Matt Parks, always calling me to go to lunch to discuss how to move our initiatives faster. Joe, we're not moving fast enough. I love how you push the organization to be better. In addition, you also put your money where your mouth is. And your Discover company made huge and large financial contributions, which we are very much appreciate. Thank you, Matt. Yesenia, I have to thank you for taking the job that nobody wants. No one wants to be the person that has to take the minutes, that has to prepare for the meetings, that has to call everyone for everything, that has to set up the Zoom. You do that, and you do that with the smile that you have right now. Even when things don't work right, for whatever reason, we are so fortunate to have you take that responsibility on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stephen Williams, who's not here, he's on the road. He'll be here within the next 30 minutes. Has been one of the best sounding boards and voices I've absolutely needed. The board will be in great hands with Stephen's leadership. But my last shout goes to my main person, Taylor West. Taylor. Taylor and I were joined at the hip, literally, the first year I was the board chair. And I got to tell you, I was fortunate to have someone as measured, knowledgeable, and experienced and able to keep me under control, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. I will always be grateful for your guidance and, most importantly, your ability to show patience when I had none. Thank you very much. But the biggest thank you tonight, only me and Taylor know what me and Taylor know. The biggest thank you tonight from me goes to our outstanding CEO, Jennifer Thompkins. Every week for the past 2 years, including yesterday, Jennifer and I would meet to discuss every aspect of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, sometimes more than once a week. And I can honestly tell you, I have never met a person that brings more energy, passion, and drive to every conversation, every morning, every afternoon, or every evening, or whenever we talk. She brings that level of energy and experience. I've been with Jennifer, as I mentioned, to national conferences. I get a little emotional on this part. One in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I got very ill, very sick. I had to be admitted to the hospital for a couple of days. Was it 3 days or 2 days? 3 days. 3 days. Through the emergency room. Jennifer did not leave me. She stayed with me to make sure I had the appropriate medical care. Even when the conference was over and I was still in the hospital, I was going to check out the following day. I'm trying to send her home to say, I got this, I'm good, I can fly. She looked at me and said, there's no way I'm going to let you fly. I have to explain this to Judge College. She refused to leave. She made sure that I got home safely, and I will be forever grateful, not just for that trip, but for the last 2 years, but it punctuated with that trip. That's the kind of president, CEO that we have. The future is in excellent hands as a result of Jennifer Thompkins. Okay, now that I've said my piece, I think Reverend Curry
Sir.
will come. Reverend Curry?
Shall we pray? Oh God, our Father, we take this moment, a moment that we know nothing about, a moment that was preordained before the foundations of the world. And we first say thank you. We thank you because of your faithfulness. We thank you for your kindness. And we thank you for your tender mercies. And Father, as we now spend this time discussing the work that the people that you have assigned to help those who can't help themselves, I pray, God, that we not only receive the information, but that it inspires us to lend a hand, jump in, and continue the work that has begun. Father, bless this meeting, strengthen every person, and we promise you we'll always give you the glory, the honor, and the praise. This we pray in the name of he who is the light of the world. Amen.
Amen. Now we will have a selection by the Choir School of Delaware.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven
Let's give them another round of applause. That was amazing. Okay. Now we'll have the adoption of the minutes. Yesenia.
Thank you, Chairman, for your introduction. That was very heartwarming for us here who serve so generously. Thank you for that. So yes, I'm Yesenia Taveras, Board Secretary. Just want to say thank you for my fellow board members here voting me back into this position. It's been an honor to serve with each one of you. So for the 2023 annual meeting minutes, they were sent out in advance. Are there any corrections? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes as presented.
All in favor?
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Thank you.
It has been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes accepted.
There we go. Thank you, Joel.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Parks, and I serve on the Finance Committee, and I have the pleasure to provide the Treasurer's Report on behalf of our Finance Committee Chairman, John Signer, who could not be here tonight. We have outstanding financial results, thanks to Jennifer and the team. I mean, it's really a great board to sit on when you're very, very financially sound, and Jennifer and the team do a great job not only identifying the programs that provide impact to the community, but also making sure that those programs are properly funded. We have the best balance sheet that you can have as a nonprofit, in my opinion, and that's cash. All cash, $692,000 of it sitting in the bank for us to be able to provide it for our mission and to serve our community. But absolutely fantastic results, Jen. That money came from gifts and grants from a variety of sources. It came from corporations. It came from other community-based organizations, and of course, probably most likely came from some of you at all. We certainly appreciate everybody's contribution, whatever it may be, and it certainly helps lead to our strong financial results and, of course, being able to provide the programming that we do. And on the expense side, obviously, Jennifer keeps a close eye on all of our expenses, does a great job there as well. So as a result of that great work in 2024, we ended with a surplus of $170,000. So absolutely $170,000. Absolutely fantastic work. So Jennifer, you and the team deserve all the recognition for this, and certainly makes our jobs easier. And we look forward to years to come of the various programming you guys can provide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kari DeWitt, and I'm president of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Guild. The Guild, just like our local guild, just like the national affiliates across the nation, our role is to support our local affiliate, the Wilmington Urban League. This year we'll be celebrating our 20 years of existence in serving our local affiliate. Nationally, the guilds have been around since 1942. In 2024, we served in a number of ways. Number one, we trained voter registers. We also, volunteered at the clothing bank for MLK Day of Service. So I invite you all out. We're actually going to be doing that this Monday again at the clothing bank. So we welcome you there. Also this year, we are looking forward to continuing to serve and raise money. Our role is really to provide volunteers and provide leadership development for all of our members. So we look forward to continuing to serve. And my call to action for you is please join us as a member. We welcome you. We also want to thank our board and our president for all of your support. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Family and friends. So my name is Kenyon Wilson. I serve as president of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Young Professionals. We are also a volunteer auxiliary of the affiliate here. and we target young professionals between the ages of 21 and 40, and we support the affiliate in their efforts, and we also develop our members through personal and professional development. So I just want to reflect on a great year that the YPs have had. The YPs have been very visible in the movement through, nationally as well as locally here. And this year brought incredible successes, but it also has a share of challenges. But despite the hurdles, we are deeply grateful for the members who stood by and supported us. And I always say our largest supporter, and this is actually echoed throughout the YPs nationally, is we have the best affiliate CEO that supports us better than any other affiliate CEO that supports their chapter, their YP chapter. So thank you so much, Jennifer. Jennifer has been a tremendous help. So this year, we had the privilege of hosting the Eastern Regional Conference for the young professionals. So we hosted over 200 young professionals from the Eastern region, from New York all the way down to Virginia, right here in Wilmington in April of this year. And we even have sponsors that are from our board. DuPont sponsored their building to host us. John Singer did an amazing job of supporting us on that, as well as we have some of our sponsors here today. Tech Council of Delaware was one of the sponsors as well. And the event went tremendously well. We actually had many other chapters, even outside of our region, come to Delaware just to see what it was about. We had chapter presidents from Houston, Florida, and several other ones that I can't think of at the moment. But this year definitely had its share of successes there, as well as its challenges. So I do want to highlight a few of our members that have been steadfast and supportive through the ups and downs. Right now she serves as Vice President, Ms. Elena Robinson, who's in the crowd today. Thank you so much, Elena. Elena has supported myself in this chapter, throughout a lot, and she's actually has gotten a lot out of this. She was one of the folks that actually participated in the YP Institute, which is a development program through the young professionals on a national level to support secondary education, K-12 education. So we'll share more about that in the YP report, but give me one moment. So just to share some numbers here, through BeastCon, our Eastern Regional Conference, we raised over $35,000 for that event, and we did squeak clean in the black. We didn't lose money. Not at all, right? All right. Now, while membership remained flat this year, we did have a lot of involvement just as far as paid memberships remained flat, but we had much more involvement from members and supporters this year than we had in the last several years. Had over 500 volunteer hours contributed. That's actually on the books. There was more than that. And we had over 13 community events hosted this year. So highlights of 2024, one was, of course, our Eastern Regional Conference, which was BeastCon. Another event was our National Day of Service, also led by Elena Robinson, as she chaired our Youth and Education Committee. And that event focused on literacy. Let's see, our National Day of Empowerment, which we collaborated with the National Urban League Urban Energy Jobs Program to highlight, again, energy jobs, jobs in the energy field. We connected over 35 members to that initiative. And again, just want to acknowledge our board. Thank you for all your support. Board Chair Coppedge has been very supportive of myself throughout these last 2 years, and I'm eternally grateful from you. What else? Also, just wanted to, not only did we have a very impactful year, but we strengthened our partnerships. We had over 20 community partners this year. Empowering our new leaders. We have new leaders up and coming, and looking forward to their growth and just continuing to leave a legacy here in Wilmington of the young professionals. So I'll end with that. Thank you all for your time. You have a good night.
just want to, before Dr. Teal comes up, I want to take this moment to ask any board member, any previous board member, to please stand. If you have been a board member, Ray, we have greatness amongst us. Ray, thank you for coming.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Sidney Teal, and I am the governance chair of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. I'd like to take a minute. I think most of you have heard most of our names, and I just want to make sure everybody is aware of our current board of directors. And if they'll just raise their hands really briefly. You don't have to stand up, everyone. You already know our chairman, Joel Coppedge, Jennifer Thompkins, John Singer, who is our treasurer, who cannot be here today with us, Yesenia Tavares, Stephen Williams, Dee Adiyamo, Timothy Devlin, Ron Kimbrough, Matthew Parks, Tamara Smith, and Taylor West. If you can give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. And it's my true pleasure to tell you about our newest board members. We have 4. We're very excited to have so many incredibly talented people who are going to be bringing onto the board. When I say your name, if you don't mind standing while I read your bio. I'm going to start with Alexandra Coppedge. Alexandra Coppedge Wright is an award-winning communications executive with nearly 15 years of public relations and strategic communications experience. Currently, Ms. Coppedge Wright serves as the Chief of Communications and Customer Services for School District of Philadelphia, the nation's 8th largest school district with nearly 200,000 students. In this role, she is not only charged with overseeing the district's strategic internal and external communications, but also launching a transformational district-wide customer service initiative, engaging students, families, teachers, school-based and central office staff, administrators, as well as community and business partners. Ms. Coppedge Wright also spearheaded multiple communication strategies and campaigns that have received awards, presented various district and communications conferences. Prior to joining School District of Philadelphia, Ms. Coppedge Wright served as the Executive Director of Marketing and Communications at Mastery Schools, which is the Philadelphia's largest charter school network, operating 24 schools and serving 14,500 students. Welcome. Kerwin Gaines. Mr. Gaines is a cybersecurity consultant currently working with the state of Delaware, where he leverages his expertise to safeguard critical systems and data. With a career spanning the intelligence community, Department of Defense, and private sector, Kerwin has developed a reputation for solving complex challenges in cybersecurity and public policy. His work reflects a commitment to protecting infrastructure and enabling technological resilience in both government and private institutions. In addition to his cybersecurity work, Kerwin is the host of The Agenda, a widely respected political talk show for DETV. Through this platform, he engages with influential leaders, addresses critical issues, and provides a voice for accountability and progress. A resident of Middletown, Kerwin is a devoted husband and proud father of 3 teenagers, balancing his professional accomplishments with a strong commitment to family and community. Welcome, Kerwin. Kenneth Gatson. Kenneth serves as the Chief Financial Officer of the Delaware Military Academy, where he oversees financial management, strategic planning, and operations. A Wilmington native, Kenneth takes pride in being both a father and grandfather. Deeply committed to his community, he is an active member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated and serves on the boards of multiple community-based organizations. A passionate sports enthusiast, Kenneth enjoys watching as much as possible and makes it a priority to read, reflect, and relax every day. Welcome, Kenneth. We also have Stephanie Eldridge, who I don't believe was able to make it today, but I'll go ahead and read her bio, and we'll give her a round of applause. Stephanie Eldridge is an entrepreneur and innovator, serving as founder and CEO of Code Differently and The Industry Engineer. Her leadership at Code Differently, a certified woman and minority-owned business, showcases her commitment to transferring tech education. By providing essential tools, resources, and progressive mindset, she has empowered over 2,000 learners from young children to adults across Delaware and the nation. Her second venture, The Industry Engineer, excels in devising clear, actionable strategies for complex business challenges, emphasizing a people-first approach to problem solving. With a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering from Morgan State University and an MBA focused on technology, innovation, and operations from the University of Baltimore, Stephanie's career began with optimizing technology, innovation, and operations. Stephanie Stephanie's career began with optimizing manufacturing processes at General Motors, followed by pivotal roles in engineering and technology management at Sienna Corporation, Booz Allen Hamilton, and J.P. Morgan Chase. At heart, Stephanie values family above all, cherishing moments with her husband Grant, their 3 children, and their family dog. Her dedication to her family mirrors her passion for making positive impact in the technology landscape, striving for excellence in both professional and personal realms. Welcome, Stephanie. I would ask for our 3 members who are here to please come forward. I promise not to stick you.
I know you. My daughter. Kerwin also did a magnificent job at the debates. He was one. He was our voice. Thank you. An outstanding job. Thank you. His father's here. And Dad's here. Dad, come on, Dad. Come up here, Dad. This is a proud moment. You brought your dad up here, man. We're going to do this together.
It's good.
God bless.
It's good. I love it. You want to get your picture? You want to get your picture?
All right, good evening, Urban Leaguers. Oh, y'all can do a little bit better than that. Good evening, Urban Leaguers. We have had a slight change or switch up in our schedule to allow for some of our board members to arrive here. We know that the weather is probably not the most ideal, and so thank you so much for everyone who did come out. And please know this is streaming live as well. So whenever you get a chance, please go to DETV 28's channel and just share the link and let folks know that we are having our annual meeting. And so it is my pleasure to do my President and CEO report at this time. But let me first acknowledge our outgoing board chairman, Mr. Joel Coppage. We can do a little bit better than that. We can do a little bit better than that. Thank you. Joel was the best coach I'm telling you, he was the best coach. And so as I got to know Joel, I got to know that he was a great athlete in high school and also in college. And he always coached me and also others as well. And so I started to affectionately call him Coach when we would have our weekly calls. And he was not only a coach to me, but I really fondly remember when we did travel to New Orleans, that first day we had a free day before the conference started. And I told Joel, I said, Joel, I want to take you to dinner at my favorite place in the French Quarter called Mr. Ed's. And he said, okay. And so we went, and not only did we go, but I also invited some of my other CEO colleagues to attend with us. And at that table at Mr. Ed's, if anyone has ever been there in the French Quarter, it is just a little small place. But that afternoon, we spent a few hours in there in which Joel was really talking about his experience in corporate America, his experience as an athlete, and also his family life and all that he is involved in currently. And I will tell you, my CEO colleagues fondly talk about how great that afternoon was with spending it with you. So thank you for not only being my coach, but being a coach for others as well. And so, Joel, just know I'm so grateful and thankful for your leadership, and I'm going to miss you. I am. But no, I know that you're not far. I know where you live. And I have both of your phone numbers now, home and cell. So do not be surprised if I text you and say, hey, you got a minute? But please enjoy this much needed rest, much needed retirement. And know what we always say in the Urban League, once an Urban Leaguer, always an Urban Leaguer. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to also acknowledge our incoming board chairman and vice chairman, and I know that presentation will happen a little bit later, but I want to acknowledge them, and then also the entire board of directors. And so if you all can just wave your hands again, my board of directors are amazing. Oftentimes, I sit in these national conferences and they have these workshops for CEOs. And one of the ones I came back and told Joel, and I also told our finance committee, I sat in a workshop where Mark Morial was telling all the CEOs, you need to be involved with the finances, right? And so I stood up there proud because I'm very involved with the finances, but some of my colleagues are not. And I really I'm thankful for my board, in which really required a lot of me, but it also was great learning and great teaching. And I will tell you, this affiliate and I am better for that. So thank you so much to my entire board. And I also want to acknowledge the incredible work of my staff team. Come on, y'all have to give it up. We are a small but very mighty team. Okay, so please, if MWUL staff, if you could just stand up again, and that's all of our consultants as well. If you were in the building, please do. We do phenomenal work. And I know that there are some organizations and, who may have hundreds of people or maybe tens of people who don't do the work that we do. And it's because really every single one of our staff persons are passionate every day, coming to the office, making sure that we're innovative in our ideas and our approaches so that we can truly make meaningful impacts here in the city of Wilmington and also the entire state of Delaware. So thank you again to my staff. They put up with me sometimes. I come in the office with these crazy ideas and they have to sometimes shift, but they're so passionate about the work that they do. They're always rocking and rolling with whatever the vision is, and I'm so appreciative of them. Let me also thank our auxiliary groups. And so that is certainly Mr. Kenyon Wilson, who is the head of our young professionals, and also Mr. Kari DeWitt, who is head of our guilders as well. And so appreciative of you all and all the passion that you bring into all of our young professionals and also our guilders. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I always say, and y'all hear me say this often, the guild and the YPs are the foot soldiers members of the movement. We have a small staff. We have also a pretty moderate-sized board, so it really takes a lot of our volunteer work. Those who join the movement, who pay a membership, some, you know, that QR code is up there for you to become a member, who pay a membership and who are just passionate about this movement and also the work that we do. And so I am so eternally grateful for that. And I'm always looking for ways, how do we support you more? How do we support you better? Because we want to make sure that all of our auxiliaries and all of our members are treated well and also see a benefit with being in the movement. And I will be remiss, I know you said it in your report, in 2024, Kenyon, our young professionals celebrated 25 years of empowerment nationally. And yeah. And we hosted the largest, I say the largest, I don't know whether it's the largest or not, Kenyon, but I said we hosted the largest young professionals regional gathering here in the city of Wilmington with over 200 attendees as far as Boston to Richmond, Virginia, partnering with great folks at DuPont and Tech Council of Delaware as sponsors to ensure that our young professionals of the movement knew Wilmington was just not an exit on 95, okay? But it was a place where young professionals thrive and are committed to the movement. And our guilders, nationally, our guilders are 82 years old in history, the Guild, and are our first volunteer auxiliary of the Urban League movement. Here in Wilmington, we have outstanding commitment from our guilders to take the Urban League movement to greater heights while at the same time preserving the history and the institutional knowledge of the Urban League. And so again, thank you so much to our YPs and to our guilders. My parents are here. I saw them come in, sneak in the back. I'm originally from King of Prussia, Norristown area of Pennsylvania, and so they came in. Mr. and Mrs. Thompkins, can you just stand for a second? Yes. Yep, they don't want to stand, they're bashful. I certainly acknowledge my parents because it was them who gave me the foundation and the freedom to be in this civil rights struggle. This began when I was very young, actually. I believe in the 5th grade, and unlike other children that wanted to play sports and be outside, I was inside with a book. And so at a young age, my parents never shied away. They never shied away from discussions at the dinner table around Black history and freedom. And they gave me the best gift you can ever give a child, which was a library card. And so they never shied me away from going to the library and reading all I could about history, about the freedom struggle here in America. And many of you all know I have 2 large passions. And so one is sneakers. I'm a sneakerhead. I'm self-professed. And the other is books. But sneakers cost a lot of money. Any of you parents out there? And so I finally remember my parents. I can remember whether it was my mom or my dad saying, listen, you better read this book because this book can take you farther than my credit card can. And so Mom and Dad, you were right. And so thank you so much for all of your support. And to all the members of the movement, and so we just don't have our young professionals and our guilders, but we also created a new membership category, youth and general membership, because we understand that we want the Urban League to be for everyone. A movement is not anything without the people who make it and who also shape it. And if you aren't a member of the Urban League, please be sure to become a member. It is one of the best organizations to become a member. You have 92 other affiliates across this country. And I will say, as an Urban League movement, we have served close to 3 million people as a movement. And so when I tell you that this is a large movement, you want to become a member. And, I'm so grateful again for my board and also the staff team and our auxiliary groups when we went through our strategic planning session this past fall, and we were putting together our strategic plan for our 2025 to 2027 priorities. Membership will continue to be the backbone of the movement. Our plan is to hold quarterly membership meetings, and every paid member will have a signature Urban League pen and a digital membership card, because I believe folks need to know. They need to know and recognize when an Urban Leaguer is in the building. And so that is something that we are promising to our members. Urban Leaguers also need to know that the Urban League has their best interests at heart. So our members need to know that the Urban League is also in their best interests. And that is why we are establishing specific access perks with our membership and working with our partner corporations, some of those who sit on our board, to co-brand our membership initiatives, so that your membership isn't just a card. Your membership is just not bragging rights, but it is also a huge benefit to you. And so we're really excited to open up that new wave of membership. Within the past year, we have created 2 categories of membership, and I talked about this, our general members and also our youth members. We need to recognize that as a movement, we have to be a pipeline to leadership. We can't think that the movement is going to continue to last if we don't add new members and those who are younger than we are. This is why we have a new youth council. We established that this year. Our youth council, which is comprised of 5 members, you'll read that in your annual report. They are the youth voice of the MWUL movement. And so we do have one of our youth council members that's here, Kenyon Jr. Can you just wave your hands and stand? He is one of our youth council members. And so our youth council in 2024 traveled to New Orleans to the National Urban League Youth Conference, and along with hundreds of other National Urban League youth members, they participated in a case competition on our D3 campaign, which they focused on defeating poverty. And our council, focused on Delaware House Bill 125, which is ensuring food for all, so free universal meals to all students who are in schools. And our youth focused on that, and they did a great job at their competition. And I believe this year we are going to bring home the trophy. And so I'm holding our youth council to us. They're excited about it, but I'm excited for the work in which they're doing, again, to bring the movement and also the work that is happening for them to be the next leaders in this position. This is why we also have a Gilliam's Fellows program, which is our leading leadership development program, where many of those who successfully complete the program, they go into elected office. And because of the cultivation of the Urban League, these folks who go through the Gilliam Fellows and they are elected to office, they take the history, training, and interest of the Urban League movement with them as they assume office and fight for equity, justice, and empowerment for all people. In 2024, we were given funding through the Department of Justice to do a mentorship program. I see one of our mentors that's back there with middle school and high school students. In 2024, we also rolled out an extensive financial literacy program with our Achievement Matters Project Ready students, partnering with TD Bank and also Discover Bank and Stepping Stones Credit Union. Students who were timid about speaking about financial literacy, when I went to go see them after 6 months of programming, they were running up to the whiteboard to solve math equations surrounding financial literacy. They also learned, and Kobe will get a kick out of this, Kobe and Brittany, they also learned a little bit about hedge funds as well through that program. And so through financial literacy, we were able to have 100% of participants in our Rise Up program, which our Rise Up program is dealing with those who are justice involved. And so 100% of them signed up for bank accounts through Stepping Stones Credit Union and the great work that Matt Parks is doing over there. All of whom were justice involved through financial literacy and working with Stepping Stones Credit Union were able to set up the beginning of a financial future with that opening of that bank account. And so in that program, we had a non-recidivism rate of 90%. Let me tell you, 90%. proving to us once again that recidivism rates are not based on uncorrected behavior. They're not based on people not understanding the law. They're not based on that. It is about access and resources. This is the work of the Urban League. This is the work of the Urban League. Through our housing programs, we were able to deliver financial literacy to over 50 participants who face financial hardships, and we're able to deliver direct rental assistance to 50 participants through the state's rental assistance program, preventing eviction. Do we feel how cold it is outside? You do not want to be evicted. That is the work of the Urban League. In addition, I must shout out again, Stepping Stones Credit Union has worked with one of our clients who came to us as a renter. And thanks to the Stepping Stones Credit Union and also Discover Bank, she is now in the process of purchasing her first home so she can build generational wealth for her children and her children's children. That's the work of the Urban League. Our Yes We Tech students, or interns, I don't know if Zakia Ali is still in the building, but our Yes We Tech interns was so moved. They were so moved. And they came to us with the Urban League. They came to us for about 4 intensive days of programming during the summer, where we did college prep, career exploration, financial literacy, and elevator pitches, and also civic engagement. And so certainly shout out to our youth programs manager, Ms. Brittany Gray, and also our advocacy manager, Mr. Kobe Owens, who put together that entire curriculum. And so a Yes We Tech intern, she was so moved and called to action from the programming that we did. And then also our national, she was also called to action through our National Urban League Reclaim Your Vote campaign. She was so moved, she organized her high school in Middletown, Delaware, for voter registration. And then she galvanized the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. She told us we better be down there to knock on doors. And also the National Urban League to come to a section of Middletown, which has had the lowest voter turnout in the state. And with her taking the student lead, we knocked on door to door, encouraging folks to vote, increasing the vote by over 10% in those areas. That is the work of the Urban League. It was also our Reclaim Your Vote campaign that brought on the 2024 candidate forums. And so Kerwin so graciously served as our moderator and also gave us some time on his show, The Agenda, on DETV. But we did these Reclaim Your Vote candidate forums, and it was held in partnership with the A. Philip Randolph Institute and our religious communities, religious partnership, through Canaan Baptist Church and also Ezon Fair. God bless you, Pastor Curry. Thank you. We brought candidates together. We brought the gubernatorial candidates together. We brought the lieutenant governor candidates together and also the mayoral candidates together in separate forums. And we asked specific questions to hear how they will prioritize Black and brown communities if elected. That is the work of the Urban League. We reached through those candidate forums over 150 people in person per forum, and a total of 9,000 reached through our virtual platforms. With the charge led by our board chairman, I got to give it up to our board chairman in this, and the rest of our board. The Urban League was a key organization on voter education, voter mobilization, and voter registration in the state of Delaware. This is the work of the Urban League. And I would just say again, shout out to our specific partners at DETV. Our Reclaim Your Vote campaign went into thousands of homes when we were able to broadcast live from DETV. And in the state of Delaware, I will say this, early voter numbers shattered records. And again, that is the work of the Urban League. And then as a consequence, we were also able to see historic elections, including the election of U.S. Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, a former CEO of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. And all of this work that we did We also had to tackle, and we still had to deal with COVID-19, RSV, and other health inequities existing in our city and across the state. We have joined 30 other Urban League affiliates to make our communities healthy. We partnered with Dr. Teal and Delaware Health Coalition and Walgreens to make vaccinations accessible for all. One woman who lived right down the street from a Walgreens had no idea she and her elderly mother were eligible for a free vaccination shot. Our state numbers reveal that Black and brown people have a much higher mortality rate and hospitalization rate than their white counterparts, and because of this inequity, the MWUL's work on vaccination awareness literally became the work of life and death. This is the work of the Urban League. So in 2024, we've had some great strides and have had some excellent impact. But the work is not done. The work isn't done. To be frank, we have some challenging days ahead. We have some challenging days ahead. In about 5 days, we got some challenging days ahead. But I am also here to tell you that the entire Urban League movement is as strong as it has ever been. This movement is solid and it is strong. Last year, again, the Urban League movement, Delaware included, directly serviced 3 million people across this country through youth programming, housing, workforce, and advocacy. Folks and naysayers may say to you, what has the Urban League done? What does the Urban League do? I just want you to respond and say 3 million. 3 million folks have been impacted by the direct service work of the Urban League movement. This movement has been here for over 100 years nationally, and it will be here. It is my belief it will continue to be here for 100 years to come. But we know we have some difficult days ahead. We have some strong attacks on DEI. With every time we open up our phones, you see another corporate partner or another corporation back out of their promises to diversity. But I am proud to say that our corporate sponsors here and partners here at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League have remained committed to diversity. And as a whole Urban League movement, we will continue to work with our partners to ensure that diversity is a priority and not just a check on the box. We also will be working with Congress, and we will begin continuing to work with them to ensure that diversity is at the top of the ballot and at the top of the bill. Our Congress, we are now in a point right now, our Congress wants to begin proposing a draconian budget, which cuts key services that our communities rely on, like Medicaid and educational support programs. We, along with the national movement, are working with state and federal legislators to ensure the services that are needed most in Black and brown communities are upheld. And then we also have Project 2025 that's on the loom, which seeks to destroy the Department of Education and erase Black history, which is American history and also the Urban League's history, from curriculum. We have some difficult days ahead. This is the time more than ever that we must start to continue to think innovatively about our programming and our impact. We have to think ingenuity and have the ingenuity and the vision of a James Gilliam Sr. and continue to build this movement. This is not the time. This is not the time to get comfortable or just for us to enjoy life. We must always remember that there was a price that was paid and that we can enjoy the freedoms we have today because someone decided to live and to fight. Every executive leader goes through some adjustments, like I did when I first came to the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, and some growing pains and some of those pains. And I spoke to my board chairman. I spoke to Mr. Joel Coppedge, and I asked him, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? Would you stay or fight? And he said, Jennifer, you stay and you fight. And urban leaguers, this is what we have to do. This is what our charge is. We have to fight the good fight with our impact in our programming. We have to fight the good fight with our volunteers alongside us, like our YPs and our Guilders. We have to fight for economic empowerment, like our mission says. Let me tell you this, elections do not change our mission. We have to fight. Urban Leaguers, we're standing on the shoulders of freedom fighters like James Gilliam and Maurice Pritchett, like Ted Blunt, Dr. King and Coretta King, Myrlie Evers and Medgar Evers, Harriet Tubman. We are standing on their shoulders. We are standing on the shoulders of John Brown, Andrew Young, Mary McLeod Bethune, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer, Shirley Chisholm, and Barbara Jordan. We are standing on their shoulders. I'm proud. I stand up here very proud about the work that we have done. But the times we live in demand much of us. So let me just leave you with this. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the minutes of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I'll just end with this. My name is Jennifer Thompkins. I'm the president and CEO of the Metropolitan and Wilmington Urban League, and I endorse this message.
Thank you to our CEO and President, Jennifer Thompkins, for that inspiring and awesome report and message. One of the things that I'll say this before we move to the next phase here, the new officer installation. In my last one-on-one yesterday with Jennifer, one of the things I said to Jennifer, we've had a lot of conversations about the state of the union, President-elect Donald Trump coming on board and how we feel about the impact of that. And Mark Morial talks about that extensively, how we need to prepare and be ready. One of the things that I said to Jennifer is the call to action that I'm now giving, my last call to action that I said I'm giving, is to identify all those things, all those campaign promises, all those pledges. We want to document on day one where we stand. What gets measured is what gets attention, and what gets attention is what gets done. So we now know on day one where inflation is. We know on day one what unemployment looks like. It's the Urban League's responsibility every quarter to present that scorecard. So we're going to have the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League scorecard that will keep track every quarter of what the Trump administration is doing, and one step further, what's happening in the state of Delaware. We do not, and I repeat, we do not want to be at the doorstep 4 years from now having someone tell us something different than reality. No more fake news. We're going to have facts, real facts. And so that's what my last request was to Jennifer, is create that scorecard and hold people accountable. If we don't do it, it won't get done. So to the new board members that are coming on board, I look to you to challenge the board that you're coming on. Don't just sit back and find a comfortable seat and think that, okay, I'm going to check this box. I'm in a great organization, and this is great. The challenge for you will be to step forward, to step into a position very similar to how, I got to go back to John Singer and Dr. Teal, when I looked them in the eye and said, I need you to do this and I need you to do that. And without hesitation, they jumped in and said, we'll get it done. That's what we'll need from all of you. Your ideas and your opinions will matter. So, having said that, we will now move into, we are waiting for Mr. Stephen Williams, who's now walking through the door. So my timing could not be better. Yes, you can.
How's everybody doing? Good evening. I am so sorry for my tardiness. I got stuck on the Bay Bridge, and there's a little bad accident there, so they closed down some lanes, but I am so happy to be with you guys, and glad that you guys could all make it out, especially considering the weather. It is snowing. It's snowing for real, so be careful. Yeah, it's snowing. Might be sticking. So one, I just want to first start off by saying I am truly deeply honored to stand here before you tonight as the newly elected chairman of the board for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. Thank you. This is an incredible moment for me, and I owe it really to just so many giants who have come before me, and upon, I'd say, whose all shoulders, we really stand on. First, let me start by thanking my predecessor and mentor, Joel Coppage, who I affectionately call Unc, literally just because he's known me my entire life. Joel, all I can say is that your steady leadership and wise counsel have been a guiding light, not just for me, but for this entire organization. You set the bar high, and I hope to carry on the work you've done with the same grace and vision. I try every morning to get up and read a Bible verse and study a little bit, and it's interesting because the Bible verse that I came upon today really makes me think about Joel. It's Ecclesiastes 7:19, and it says that wisdom is a strength to the wise man more than 10 rulers who are in a city. And when I think about that, Joe, I think, your wisdom has been a guiding force. Not just a source of strength for this board, but a foundation for our entire organization. Your ability to lead with both clarity and compassion, to listen and advise with humility, has taught us all the importance of seeking wisdom, living well, and serving others with intention. It is with that same wisdom, rooted in knowledge, experience, and faith, that we will continue to guide and build on your legacy and strive to live up to the standard that you've set. So thank you, Joel, for showing us that wisdom is indeed one of the greatest strengths of all. Thank you. And to our extraordinary president and CEO, Jennifer Thompkins, we've been on a journey over these last 3 years. I just thank you so much for your tireless work in leading this organization. Your passion and determination are inspiring. And with you at the helm, the future of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League is brighter than ever. Under your leadership, we're not just responding to the needs of our community, we're anticipating them, we're shaping them, and we're setting a path forward, right? Also want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our current board members. Your dedication, expertise, and commitment to this work remind me every day why the Urban League is a beacon of hope and progress in our community. For what we've been through to date, and we've been through a lot, right? And what we've been able to accomplish, I can truly attest that this is the team you want in the trenches with you as we move forward on what will likely be some trying times, right? And to our new board members, welcome aboard. We are thrilled to have you with us. Your fresh perspectives and energy are exactly what we need to grow and take on these challenges ahead. Tonight, I also want to quickly make sure that we honor the legacy of a lot of folks, again, that have come before us. The Gilliam family, Jim Sr., known as Mr. G, Jim Jr., who was literally my idol growing up, as well as Patty Gilliam. I have to say that the love that they have led this organization with, the commitment that they led this organization with, not just to charter it, but continue to put into it for years and years, has been so important. And it's not, like I said, just their time and their treasure. It's actually love, the same love that they also have put into the community. So I don't know if Miss Patty is here. She usually is. But okay, but I do want to make sure she's acknowledged and thank her for her service, and other towering leaders as well who have helped to build this foundation, from Ray Jones Avery, who I see in the back, Dr. Tony Allen, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, Eugene Young, so many others, Ms. Francine, I mean, so many others whose contributions have paved the way for where we stand today. To quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And there is no question that these leaders have answered the question with their lives, and now it's our turn to ensure that we pick up the mantle. Lastly, as we prepare for to celebrate Dr. King's birthday on Monday, you know, I'm reminded of his belief in the power of collective action. Dr. King once said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And here at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, we are committed to bending that arc faster, stronger, and further through expanding our membership, empowering communities, and ensuring every voice is heard. Our goal moving forward is to engage more deeply with every part of Wilmington and Delaware. Together, we'll continue to grow, empower, and ignite change, ensuring that every corner of the state feels the power of this movement. So thank you, everyone, again, for coming out, for your trust, your faith, and your commitment on this journey. Let's continue to rise together. As Dr. King also said, you know, we are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. So let's make tomorrow brighter, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, all right. I'm here.
Okay, all right. So at this time, we do want to acknowledge the installation of our newer executive board. And so we do have Mr. Stephen Williams, who will be our board chair. Yeah. Then we also have Dr. Sidney Teal, who will be our vice chair. Then we have Miss Yesenia Tavares, who will be our secretary. And then Mr. John Singer will be our treasurer. And so John could not make it tonight. So this is our executive board for our 2025 year. And so congratulations, everyone. And I believe we have a photo op that will happen. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And last but not least, we do want to, and you all can stand up here, and I would ask all board of directors, please stand, even our newer board of directors, please stand. We do want to acknowledge our outgoing board chairman, Mr. Joel Coppage. And so what we have here is the Gumbo Coalition, but it's a little bit more in here. And so we also, at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, we love to support small Black-owned businesses. And so we have a pretty hefty gift card in here to Oath 84. So you and Judge Coppage can enjoy many meals. So here you go. And that's inside the gift card. Yep. Awesome. Yep, you're very welcome. And then last but not least, we do give away, we do give 2 awards. And so one is the Chairman's Award. And I do not believe, but I believe we will announce the Chairman's Award at this time. And then we also have a Staff Award. So, Mr. Chair, do you want to go
Yes.
first, Mr.?
Okay, my last official act, Stephen. The Chairman Award this year is going to go to Ron Kimbrough. Yes. Oh, he's on his way from New York? Okay. Ron, just real brief, Ron has stepped up big time. He stepped into the fund development role, a role that sometimes was the committee of one himself. Very challenging role. He's always available, accessible. We asked him to step into chair and lead the new board installation committee. He stepped into that, led that, sat side by side with me at the strategic planning sessions, had a lot of dialogue about the future and the direction of the Urban League. So give a round of applause to Mr. Kimbrough. Yes.
And then we also give out a staff award. And so this year, our staff award, which is the Francine Oates Award, and Ms. Francine Oates was a longstanding staff member at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. And we give this award each year to a dedicated staff member. And this year, and she was mentioned before, but this year it is given to who we affectionately call the jewel of our office, Miss Madeline Johnson. Come on, Madeline, come on up. Come on up. Madeline comes in every single day, extremely sharp. And we call it a jewel of the office because if one of us isn't in the office, she is calling our phones. Where are you? You need to be here. When are you coming back? And Madeline has just been extremely committed and has helped, I will say, me in this journey of the institutional knowledge of the history of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. And so we are so grateful for her. Doesn't she look lovely, everyone? Yeah. All right. Come on here.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, y'all going to make me cry. Yeah. But I am grateful to God because this year I will celebrate my 87th birthday. Woo!
I can hold your award. Okay, I'll hold your award. And so at this time, we are at the end of our annual meeting, and so I will ask that Reverend Curry, if you can come up and give us a benediction.
Shall we all stand? Oh God, our Father, we thank you so kindly for allowing the strength and the knowledge of this institution to bless so many people. We recognize that tough days may be ahead, but as long as you're with us, nothing can defeat us. So I pray, God, the strength, the knowledge, the encouragement of this institution, the Urban League, this branch, Wilmington, be with us, stand by us, hold us close to you. While we will depart from each other, we shall never depart from your presence. This is our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Meeting adjourned. There you go.